Good morning, everybody, and welcome to 1 Million Cups. So glad to have you guys today. You guys aren't going to be disappointed. We have a fantastic speaker for today. We have Dr. Patrice Carter with Breakpoint Coaching Collective. So without further ado, you guys, let us welcome Dr. Carter.
So good morning. And so this morning, what I want to do is just stand here for about 10 minutes and tell you why you need to consider packaging your expertise into a digital course. And so this morning is just a short presentation on how you can grow your wealth with digital course creation. So show of hands, how many of you have thought about or ever heard of putting your expertise into a digital course or online school? And if you did, what would you teach? What are some things that you would teach? So you can just shout it out today. I know we have some coaches and speakers in the room. What would you teach?
Confidence.
Okay, confidence building.
Public relations.
Public relations, branding, accounting, perfect. Those are all excellent. Yeah, good job, Ron.
Hey, come on.
Okay, I know who that troublemaker in the group is. All right, so just our agenda for this morning, briefly, is I'm gonna share a little bit about me. And then I'm gonna show you the money, because I believe it's really important to show receipts. When people say they've done a certain thing or that you should do a certain thing, we should be able to have outcomes and measurements that we can provide. So I'm gonna do that. And then I want to let you know why you really should begin to think about and moving forward with packaging your expertise into a digital course. That said, how do you know when to create your course and what are the first steps? I'll tell you that. And then I want to invite you to an event that I'm having, and then we'll do Q&A. Okay, so a little about me. I've been in business with the love of my life, Dalton, for the last 15 years. I left my full-time job on Fort Bragg as a government contractor to go into what I call full-time marketplace ministry, i.e. entrepreneurship, and I dream big, and I encourage others to do the same. The picture behind you or behind this piece is me in a tutu with no teeth. And I was voted as the May Queen of my kindergarten, and I have a twin sister. She wanted to be the May Queen. I wanted to dance. I still love to dance, but I'm very particular. I want all of my teeth, so that's important. I love working remotely. So when you think about the fact that you have a digital course or an online product, you can work from anywhere. So I'm big on pajamas, business up top, party at the bottom, and sitting on the sofa with my computer, working from anywhere. I love working and serving people one-on-one, and there's always room at my table. And then lastly, if there's tropical air, palm trees, blue water, floaties, I'm there. And I'm a veteran of the United States Army Reserve, served here at Fort Liberty. Okay, so this morning, what I would love to do is just sort of set the tone for what we're talking about, and that is to give you a quote that Marie Forleo shared. And she says that in the digital era, entrepreneurs that offer courses online democratize access. When you think about democratizing access, what that means for us and why that's huge for us here in Cumberland County is as an entrepreneur, it allows access. Anyone has access now to not only you, but you have access to everyone. And so there are no barriers to entry. And I believe that when you have barriers to entry, sometimes we see that as a means for why people don't become entrepreneurs. The next thing that she says is it democratizes access to valuable insights, meaning now everyone knows what we know. We can share what we know. We can reach global audiences. And I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. And they can tap into our wisdom, and we can tap into shared wisdom. And it creates a ripple effect towards empowerment and transformation. So what's the impact of your yes? A number of people raised their hands this morning to say, I have considered a digital course or online school. When you say yes to that, packaging your expertise, you're establishing yourself as a subject matter expert. You're also increasing your marketability. You can earn a living. I'm going to show you the numbers here shortly, and you can grow wealth with ease. So if you are a business owner, you have a product or service, what I'm suggesting is that you take that product or service and you improve or scale your service offerings and your service mix to include digital products. Because we think about AI, how many people have used AI, ChatGPT? It aligns with digital courses and online schools. So it puts you in the vein of innovation, it puts you ahead of the game, and it puts you in a place where you're able to innovate and scale. Also, as a digital course creator or someone who has an online school, you have flexible schedules, you can work remotely, and you can create jobs for others. So our first course, through my company, Breakpoint Coaching Collective, one of the things that we did at first was to create a course for Christian life coaches. So anyone that wanted to become a certified Christian life coach, we would teach those courses 3 sections a week live via Zoom. I got burned out very quickly. So what I had to do was bring on help. So I hired from within. The coaches that I graduated, I hired. I paid them a living wage. So now I was able to put other women to work, pay them a living wage, and create income for their household that actually paid bills and made a difference. So it does that for you. Also, it helps you to extend beyond borders. I recently, as of yesterday, just closed my first client in the UK, where I'm going to be teaching them how to grow their wealth with a digital course. And then last week, I closed a coaching client who wants to do business mentoring in the UK. So that has allowed me now to be able to go across borders, standing here in Cumberland County, and that's huge, and you can do it too. So that said, it extends our impact, it extends our outreach. And I would share that it's pandemic proof. So what happened was with that course that I referenced, that we were teaching 3 sections a week, I felt that my husband and I talked about it, and he said, I think you should do this as an e-learning course because something is going to happen. Something is changing. We were seeing things on CNN and all that. So I took that course and I created it into an e-course on Teachable, is the platform that I use. When I launched that course, I launched it in 2019 at an introductory rate of $299 a class. It netted $20,000 in 6 months. I thought at first people would save their money because we don't know how long we're going to be in the house. We don't know what's going to happen with the economy, but people were joining every day. And so that says to me that we can never count people's money. We can never assume their ability to purchase or pay or their intent. And so that said, I believe that not only are digital courses pandemic proof, I believe that they're recession proof because they work behind the scenes and they're ongoing and they're not necessarily predicated on the economy. It's based on what the market will bear and what people will pay. And you can shift the amount of the course to scale that to meet that specific need. Also, something that I love is it's a low startup cost. If you're someone who doesn't have a lot of money to invest in a business, but you know that you have expertise that people will pay for, you can join or become a digital course creator for as low as $49 a month. So Thinkific is an e-learning platform that's $49, Teachable $59, Kajabi $119 per month. You get that back, that investment back when you're a very first client. So it's a very low startup cost. Also, the last things I'll share is that as a digital course creator, as an online school owner, you are able to command a higher rate now because you are established as a subject matter expert. How many instructors, teachers do I have fellow faculty members? There you go. Shout out to you guys. We love our educators. So this is basically you using your education to educate others and getting paid for it. So not only do you establish yourself as that to be, you also create opportunities for books and being a published author. How? Whenever my fellow faculty members know this, when we start to build a course, we do what? We have to create a curriculum. We have to establish an outline. We have to build a syllabus. So it's no different with a digital course. You have to create an outline for a syllabus. So anybody that has been through elementary school, high school, college, when you create that outline, what do? You go back and you fill in the blanks. So now you have a full document, you have a PDF, now you have a mini ebook, now you have a textbook that you can monetize and sell with your course. So now you've created income with your course and with your textbook, and now you're a published author. And then now you can go into speaking engagements because you're able to speak from a place of expertise and you're able to garner paid and unpaid speaking engagements as a result of becoming this expert or using your expertise to help others. Okay, so here are the receipts for our company. So our company is called Breakpoint Coaching Collective. And since 2019, we have gross sales of $108,409. We have total sales or earnings of $88,237. And then we have some refunds. We won't talk about them, but anyway, we have refunds of $9,752. And so that said, this all happens seamlessly. So my husband, whom I love, is not a cook or a chef by any means. And we have an air fryer. And so I'll say to him, hey, can you put this in the air fryer? And I'll have to run an errand. I'll come back He burns the food up every time because he has a saying, set it and forget it. Set it and forget it won't work with online schools and digital courses because you still have to nurture your audience. You still have to market. You still have to brand. However, once you get the bulk of it established and set up, you have sales coming in while you're out doing your life and running the other parts of your business. So I want to say you can do this. I don't want to say let's go because we should be doing this. All right, so how do you get started? So how do you get started creating your first digital course, as I already shared earlier, is that you create an outline. And then from that outline, you want to base that on your expertise. You want to base it on what you're passionate about and what you can do in your sleep, what you can talk about with ease. And then you want to, of course, gear it towards your target market, and you want to choose a course platform. There are numerous platforms, Thinkific, Kajabi, Udemy, Teachable. They all have a monthly fee, but they pretty much all do the same. Do the same thing, it's just more what's user-friendly to you. And then you want to determine your rate. How you determine your rates is that you want to, of course, do market research. That's number one. Two, you want to social proof it. How do you social proof? You ask your warm market, you do a poll of people that you're connected to, that love you. You don't want to give your idea away or your meat and potatoes, but you want to just generally say, this is what I'm planning. What would you pay for this type of course? And then you assess it from there. Next, you develop a marketing plan and a launch strategy. The launch strategy looks like email marketing. It looks like social media posts, etc. And then you want to tell everyone about it and you want to launch. So that's just generally how you get started. Statistically speaking, let's look at e-learning, the e-learning market globally. So what you see in terms of statistics here, I won't go through the entire slide, but what I think is huge is that as of 2024, that you can't see it behind there, but this e-learning market is going to grow to an $843 billion market. And we should be able, as entrepreneurs, to tap into that and to take advantage of that. And then lastly, I'll share this slide because I'm a Teachable course creator. In Teachable, course creators earn close to $456 million. On average, that's about $40,000 a year per course. On Teachable, you can have up to 4 courses or 5 courses. So if you have 5 courses at $40,000, what's the math on that? A lot of money. I'm not about here. I'm not getting ready to calculate it. But if you think about $40,000 may not sound like a lot of money, but I'm talking about $40,000 of residual income. That has the capacity to shift your family's dynamic. That's a vacation, that's debt freedom, that's a legacy, that's wealth, that's a house down payment. There's a lot that you can do with that type of residual income. All right, so how do you know when it's time to create and sell your digital course? You know that it's time if you have a product-based business or a service-based business. So there's always a great time. There's never a bad time, in my opinion. And you know it's time if you have an active email list. How many here are entrepreneurs that have an active email list? Okay. Strong social media following. Okay. What about people that ask you consistently, hey, can I pick your brain? How did you get started in business? Teach me to do what you do. Tough crowd, but okay. All right. You get the gist. Okay, thank you for that. You get the gist. Okay, so here's just a little bit about what one of my clients has said. I helped her, she's in Delaware, to establish her meditational school. And I'll just read the middle. She says, Dr. Carter's training and guidance helped me to enlarge my territory and develop a stellar certification program that is now a viable branch of my business. And that is what I want to share. This is a branch of your business. You can have it be your sole income producing aspect of your business, but it's a branch of your business as well. Gary Vaynerchuk, last couple slides, is he shares that the value in an entrepreneur who shares their knowledge this way through a digital course extends beyond profit. And that's one of the things I believe that is important to me and possibly others of you here in the room is we're not just in business to make money. We want to make an impact. I know that I want to leave a legacy of entrepreneurship in our family. I want to leave a legacy of debt freedom. And also I want to know what's possible and teach them how to do it. So he says it's a virtuous cycle where mentorship transcends geography, which we've already talked about. And also we nurture a community of individuals that are inspired to make meaningful impact. And I believe that that is what we do and what you can do through a digital course. All right, so how we can work together. So through my company, I have several ways that we can work together. I mentor entrepreneurs who want to grow their wealth with digital courses. I have a done with you service and a done for you service. So I will do it with you in an 8-week setting, or I'll do it for you and I finish it in 8 weeks. Also, you can learn the business of coaching. Sometimes there are coaches who get certified, but they don't learn how to actually run their coaching business. They don't know how to monetize their coaching business. So I teach that. If you want to become a certified Christian life coach or I coach broken women, we can talk more about that. So my website is breakpointcoaching.teachable.com and my email address is here. And I'll come right back for questions, but I want to share that this coming Sunday, I have an event coming up. And this event is not just for authors, but it's for anyone who wants to author their first course. So in that event on this coming Sunday, it's virtual. We'll meet via Zoom from 1 to 3 on Sunday, and I will help you to outline and to craft your very first digital course. It is a paid webinar. It's $47. It's 2 hours of the best time you'll ever spend because I'm fun and I'm effective. So you'll leave with an actual course outline. And then now we can take questions. Any questions?
You were so thorough.
You have lots of passions. How do you narrow it down?
That's a good question. So how you narrow it down when you think about, so she said, if you have a lot of passions, how do you narrow down where to start? I would say just pick the one, what comes up for me is the one that people ask you about the most, or that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So when you think about a domino effect, which one is going to have the biggest domino effect? What is it people want to know from you? And sometimes we think we know what the audience wants, but I believe the thing that the audience wants is the thing you should build a course for, because that's the course that's going to monetize. And then you can do your dream courses later if that makes sense. But just pick one and start and release it, and then just see what the outcomes are. When I say outcomes, are people buying it? Are people responding to it? Or ask your audience, where should I start? I'm thinking about these 5 courses, these 3 courses. What is it that you would invest in with me? What do you want from me? That's what I ask my clients is, well, how can I serve you? What is it that you want to know that I know? Do you have a question about Mo?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Mo, and I just want to do a quick plug for Dr. Carter. I've been working with Dr. Carter for probably a week now, and she's already changed the game for me. So work with her.
That's so sweet. Thank you. I'll pay you that $5 later. Okay, great. Well, if you do have any questions, I'll be in the back. I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to come and present to you guys today. It's been awesome.
I'm gonna have a question.
Okay.
So what challenges have you had and how have you overcome them?
So challenges I've had and how I've overcome them. Well, the first challenge is just the fear that no one will show up to the party. So you create this great product and you launch it to the masses and you get crickets. And that happens. So I don't want to present it as though you're gonna have this course and now you're making $1 million tomorrow. So being able to emotionally regulate, if you will, and set the right expectations. So people say, if you build it, they'll come, and that is true, but they'll come as you continue to show up and be consistent. So what I recognize is, as an entrepreneur, is I have to take my emotions out of it and recognize that I'm putting out a stellar product and I have to give it time. I planted a seed, now I need to water it. So I water it with social media, I water it with networking, I water it with emails, I water it with marketing and asking for the business and building a pipeline. And so there's a lot of work that goes after that. It's like a farmer. And so then I wait after I've done those things, but I never stop watching over it and working it. I show up every day and work it. So that's how I've overcome it. I cry, I have tears, I pray, and I'm like, oh God, this is never gonna work out. But then I'm consistent, so it just starts to come.
Yeah, just to add on what you were saying, I mean, I think you just kind of get used to the setbacks
Absolutely.
and that's part of it.
Mhm.
So, just pile through, keep, like what you say, keep growing the garden, keep tending to it.
That's so precious. I love that. Thank you for saying that. And so the other thing I was gonna share is that sometimes people will want their money back. People start the process, especially in our Christian life coaching course. It's a fully accredited course. And so people come in saying, I want to be a coach. And then when they see the volume of work, they put the brakes on and they want a refund. So now you have to refund that money. So we're talking, the course is $2,997. So I'm having to refund $2,997. So as an entrepreneur, you have to ride that emotional financial way. So that's me.
Good morning. I just wanted to affirm or to amen some of what you shared. My name is Mr. Short. I'm actually one of Dr. Carter's clients. And I became connected to her long before I became her client. And I joined during the pandemic when she made reference to many people didn't want to make moves during the pandemic. I looked at that as an opportunity. And I was one of my husband, I should say, well, as a result of him, because y'all know, anyway, not to talk about you being, but you know. One of our first clients to take advantage of the e-course for coaching. And so that's how we got introduced. And then later, she's worked with me on creating my own online school. So it works. It really does. She's patient. You know, she doesn't, this is not a paid advertising, but since Mo put me on the spot, I figured I would say that as well. It just makes sense. It really does.
Yes, sir.
Share with us how tough it was to walk away from a government job.
Oh
I mean, if
my
you don't
God.
have a job,
Yeah.
then you got nothing to lose, but
That's such a great question.
you're getting off that lifeboat or whatever it is,
Absolutely.
and you gotta find out if you're gonna sink or swim.
And I don't know how to swim in the natural, so that's a good. So what had happened was, so I was working for the government. I worked for TRICARE. My master's is in healthcare administration. So I worked for the government as a contractor for about 8 years, and I always wanted to be a civil service employee. My mother was a civil service employee for 30 years. My dad's a retired Marine. I'm from Fayetteville. And so I finally get there. It's the height of my career. I'm making $80,000 a year. We travel to Europe every year. And it was actually going to convert to a GS-14 position. So I would have been set for life. I hated every day of that job. I hated it. I was a project manager. I managed a $2 million budget, but I just wasn't satisfied. I wasn't fulfilled because my personality is, I want to see the impact of my life. I want to actually make a difference that I can tangibly see in the heart and experience of another person, and that's what's happening. So I had just gotten married on March 1st. Our 15-year anniversary is this Friday. We had only been together 5 months before we got married, and I'm getting ready to quit my $80,000 a year job. So he worked at Womack as well. I worked for a Womack contract, and he was down the street, and I said, hey, I need to talk to you. And he said, okay. I said, meet me in the parking lot. So we're in the parking lot, and I said, I believe that it's time for me to leave this job and to go into full-time entrepreneurship. And he said, well, we have to walk by faith. And so my husband agreed with me. So to your credit, to your question, my mother did not. Very vocal about it, and my boss did not. And so when I told my boss that I was leaving, he said, how are you going to live on prayer? You know, because I was leaving by faith. He said, how are you going to live by prayer? Who's going to listen to you? Who wants to hear what you have to say? And it was okay. It stung, but I was committed to what I knew the vision was. So he didn't matter as much. But my mother sat down across from me at our dining room table and said, you have a Ph.D. and you won't work. And that's just stupid, and I don't understand. It's funny, but it's like, yeah. That said, I'll go back now to the receipt, to $108,000, 409 total sales, and $88,000 in net income just from one product alone. And so I'm not homeless. We're able to eat every month. And I'm now making a living as an entrepreneur, and my husband left his job, government job, civil service job, the next year. And so she ended up in the hospital on that one, but she got. But I said, Mommy, we're not doing this in the ER, but she's okay. And so she did. So we've gotten past it, but I believe that, and guys, if you're someone who's traditional minded, I honor you in that. But if you're someone who's entrepreneurial minded, you're going to have to get out of that boat. You're going to have to walk on that water. You can always get a job. I'm marketable. I've been in academia for 14 years. I share with Lori that I have been an adjunct professor with Campbell University for 14 years. I left that as well. But I'm saying that to say we can always get a job, but you won't always have a life to be able to walk out your dream as an entrepreneur. And I think that's important that you give yourself that opportunity and that chance. That's really good. That's good.
Thank you.
Any other
Thank you.
questions? If not, I'm going to take the last question.
Okay.
What can this community do for you? How can we help Breakpoint Coaching Collective?
So how you can help me, I'm glad you asked, thank you, Lori, is that I would love to have a contract with Fayetteville Technical Community Colleges as well as the community college system where I can teach entrepreneurs how to grow their wealth of digital courses. So I want to be able to bring my course here and teach that course by contract to do that. So that's what I would love to do.
Okay, perfect. Cool. And I would love to have you come as a guest speaker in some of the entrepreneurship, small business management. Thank you. I like to do some of you. Thank you. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much.